G'day guys, how's it going? Morgan C. Jonas here, independent for the Senate in this election. That's Group R above the line, and yes, you can vote in that blank box. That is a valid vote. Now, I'm making this video to clear up any confusion that people may have in relation on how to cast a valid vote in the Senate. That's right. I posted a video on my Facebook the other day demonstrating some phone call evidence from the AEC, or more specifically AEC phone operators, actually falsely advising voters on how to vote in the Senate in relation to grouped independents, right, who are represented by a blank box above the line. Here's an example. My one there, again, is Group R. So I wanted to make this video in order to explain exactly how Senate voting works for two reasons. One, to clear up any confusion the public may have, and reason number two, to provide instructional material for AEC staff who apparently, well, so it appears, have not received thorough training from the AEC. That is the conclusion that I draw. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with this little tutorial here, and I hope to clear everything up. Alrighty, so first of all, this is what the Senate ballot paper looks like, this big, long piece of paper. And what you'll see through the across the top there is a big, thick line going through the paper. That is referred to as the line. Now, you can either vote above the line or below the line, but you can't vote in both areas. All right, so that's the first step right there. Let's talk about voting above the line. Now, this is a sample Senate ballot paper, ladies and gentlemen. This is purely for illustrative purposes only. All right, so let's just say you're voting above the line. The strong recommendation is that you number 6 boxes above the line. That's right. Now, what the AEC may not tell you is that there is a savings provision whereby if you only number 1 box, your vote will be valid. Although me personally, I do not recommend voting this way, because if you don't get your pick, as in if you don't get the box that you number, your vote will effectively be dead in the water. So the whole purpose of your preferences is so that if you don't get your first pick or your second, then hopefully you'll get your third or your fourth, and down the chain it goes. In my opinion, the best practice is to probably number every box above the line, although the recommendation from the AEC is 6, and I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with numbering 6 boxes, all right? So if you're voting above the line, decent rule of thumb is to number 6 boxes. And let me tell you about grouped independents above the line and AEC phone staff operators. This is for you to pay attention to. Alrighty, now, if you notice here on this sample ballot paper, the sample there in column G, you can see that it's blank. There's no logo above the box where the 4 is, and there's no name under the 4. Now, this is a valid box. That's right. You can put a number in this box, and by doing so, you'll be voting for a grouped independent team, and their names will appear below the line. So Group G here that you're looking at effectively represents a group of independents, and you will see their names printed below the line there. Now, it's demonstrated right here. This is the Senate ballot paper for this year's federal election. This is my group, Group R. So the one in that column there is giving a vote to the names below. That's Morgan Jonas and Monica Smith. So the way this works is if I get elected, then my overflow votes will go to Monica, and then they will go to whoever you put in your second or third preference above the line. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so this is 100% a valid vote. You can put a number in this blank box above the line because it represents the names that are featured below the line. Okay, so once again, a good rule of thumb is 1 to 6 above the line. You can put only one single number above the line, but I really don't recommend it. And once again, for best practice, I would advise numbering every single box above the line in order to give you maximum control over your vote. All right, so that's above the line voting. Now, the other method is below the line. Now, below the line, you will see featured all the names of all the different candidates, whether they are from a party or if they are independent. Okay, now below the line, the recommendation is that you number a total of a minimum 12 boxes, although there is a savings provision for 6. But once again, the more boxes you number, the more control you have over your vote. In fact, some people like to number every single box below the line so they can have maximum control. But please keep in mind, if you do this, it's very important that you write the numbers clearly so that there's hopefully no confusion when the votes are being counted. Alrighty, now here's something else I want to show you about below the line voting. See this red box over there? It says ungrouped. So what is this ungrouped box and what are these names? The names in this ungrouped section are independents who have not formed a team. That's right. So these are singular independents running for the Senate. They don't get a letter allocation above the line. They are all listed below the line, and that is because they are singular independents. Whereas, where are we? In a scenario such as G right here above the line, we have independents directly below G, but because they are grouped, as in they have decided to run together and submit a joint application with the AEC to run, they receive the privilege of having a box above the line, although they don't get a name and they don't get a logo. Once again, this is exactly how it looks. In my example here, I decided that I would like to run with Monica, so we submitted a joint application to run for the Senate. We are independents, not part of a party. And the rule for that is that you get a box above the line, but not a name and not a logo. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I hope that really clears it up. I know that it's a little bit confusing, but once again, to set the record straight, it's 6 above the line. That's the general recommendation, or 12 below the line. And those empty boxes above the line, okay, that have a letter allocation, that simply represents a group of independents. And you can see their names directly below the line, and that's how it works. So I hope this has cleared up any confusion for people at home, and to the AEC phone operators watching this video, I hope that you adopt this training and actually use it when people call you, because I know for sure that many of you have been dishing out false information, and that information most definitely has the potential to impact votes for people such as myself, who are running an independent team. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this clears up any confusion. See you later. If you're in Victoria and you'd like to get elected a real Freedom independent into the Senate in this year's federal election, then vote 1, Group R, above the line on the Senate ballot paper. That is R for Revolution. Authorised by Morgan Charles Jonas, Independent for the Senate, Melbourne.